My name is Mike Prendergast. I just entered this race officially on the 4th of January this year. I retired from active duty after serving our nation in uniform full-time for 31 years at MacDill Air Force Base this past summer. I had all of my family with me present just prior to my son Robert leaving on his first combat tour in Afghanistan, and my son-in-law Caleb, who was leaving for his 6th combat tour in Afghanistan.
That has given us a 12.3% increase in the unemployment rate in Hillsborough County, and actually a 30% increase in the construction unemployment rate in Hillsborough County. It's also given us the highest bankruptcy since the Great Depression. But our Congress people, they cry out and says, we inherited this from the Bush administration, but excuse me, haven't you all been there for over 30 years? We have one senator that's been there 57 years. That's longer than Castro's been the dictator of Cuba.
All right, but after we were here for about 6 months, we fell in love with Tampa and decided this is where we wanted to raise our children. I've served in the Air Force Reserve and the Air National Guard for over 30 years. I've been activated 3 times since 9/11. I've served on active duty and away from home for 4 of the last 8 years. I've also had a successful civilian career, specialized in information technology, security. And my last active duty assignment, I served as the Vice Commander of the Air Force Cyberspace Command, trying to protect the nation from cyber attacks and espionage.
I am the candidate that can win the general election. I have the experience. I've walked this district from one end to the other end. I know the district. I know the politics. That being said, we have an opportunity to make history.
Ourselves, and we should not have to beg for forgiveness from allies who are afraid to go forth and protect their own self-interest. So it's in our hands to take those matters into our own hands and go forth and protect our nation.
If we don't protect our men and service people over there, then we're going to have to defend it over here.
We have a problem with the administration of health care. We went to the Congress. Congress came back and said, well, we're going to improve the health care, but we're not going to deal with the real problems of the healthcare industry, which is basically malpractice insurance. Ask any doctor or anybody in the field. They'll tell you the biggest expense of any office or any medical facility, hospital there are is malpractice. So you cannot solve and cure the patient if you don't treat the actual disease. Not 3 counties in 1 district, but what that actually did is strengthen the Republican districts surrounding it, and that's why they did it. But I don't think they ever thought they would have a non-traditional Republican candidate can take advantage of the way they gerrymandered the district. So when I win the general election in November, there won't be a Democratic district for 200 miles around Tampa Bay. So thank you.
That familiar with the fair tax initiative. The fair tax, flat tax, something has got to be different. We've got 67,000 pages of tax code. Nobody can understand all that, not even an accountant and a CPA. We've got to do something that makes it easier for people to provide income to the United States. We've got to have taxes, but it can't be so complicated that you can't figure it out.
This next question goes back to Mike. Mike, do you support the prosecution of all alleged terrorists by military tribunals?
I absolutely do. The moment they land in the United States, they get human rights that they should never be afforded. They were taken up off of the battlefield. They were trying to kill Americans, and they in some cases did kill Americans. And they should not have any legal standing whatsoever in the United States or its territory.
What is the legal system going to do with them? Try them and then put them in jail and try to rehabilitate them and reintroduce them into society? I don't think so. They do not belong in the United States, and they should be tried by a military.
Too many Americans have died in other countries fighting to keep America free. The rights that we have here are the rights that we have shed our blood, sweat, and tears for. So for someone who has never did anything for this country, matter of fact, are our enemy, they come to this country like the fruit of the boom bomber, as Rush calls them, and get indicted and get all the rights and the services of a court, and our system is basically something that's inept, and it should never happen. He should have a room and club, get more down in Cuba, and that's where they all need to go.
Of Acorn for election violations and dishonest business practices.
Absolutely. Most people here in this room probably didn't contribute to the Obama campaign, but that's where you're wrong. You did contribute to it, to Acorn. We funded Acorn to have people register as voters, and then they turn around and throw away the Republican applications away. Acorn actually picked people up in buses, drove them to the polling, the precincts, had them vote, and then gave them dinner if they voted Democratic. Then they were caught giving something like $800,000 to the Obama campaign. Yes, they need to be prosecuted, and they need to lose their funding for those tragedies. We need to take a serious look at all these little organizations that funnel money back to political campaigns, because it's not fair.